oh, hello, and then a third hello. And then at 10:54, what does she say?
Never mind. How do you fall asleep without telling me good night or making sure that I am home safe? Question marks.
And then at 10:55, so 1 minute later, what does she say?
I have texted you since 9 o'clock. I know you did not fall asleep that early. I just don't understand.
And then she deleted a message that was sent at 11:01 and then sends another text at 11:03 p.m. What does that say?
I am very sad. I check on myself like always. I am safe and good. Do not worry. I will always take care of myself.
And what was the reply?
He replies, Allie is here.
And then at 12:48 a.m., what does he say?
Good night, my love.
What does he say after that?
Are you safe and okay?
What does he say after that?
I had taken my phone upstairs to charge when Colt and I arrived home.
Moving on.
I certainly want to marry. I have the same feelings for you.
She replies at 2:12 a.m. What does she say?
No, you do not. I am going to have this discussion again. I'm not going to have this discussion again. If you want me, I would have known by now. Go find what you want.
And then at 2:12 a.m. again.
I wasted 3 years with the last guy. He kept telling me how much you love me and how much you want to marry me. I was an idiot.
And then it looks like that same text was edited at 2:13 to add, look how that turned out.
Yes.
Does that look right? And then he replies at 2:42, two different times. What does he say?
Well, I'm not like that. Good night. And the second text, not really sure where this all came from tonight.
And what is her reply at 6:29 a.m.?
It came from, I miss you and I want to be with you. I don't like being without you. I want to feel like I belong to you.
The lead detective narrating this has me rolling. He is really putting all his emotions into this. And Suzanne, I am tired. I had to listen for over an hour. All these text messages, some of them completely inappropriate that I couldn't even include here. And ma'am, in that hour, I wanted to leave you. I was going to break up with you, okay? Let's get into these text messages of this investigation. Final part of day 3. If you have not been watching this, this is the Killer Dennis murder trial. She's facing murder charges for taking the life of her boyfriend, poor David, who was drained before he passed. Now, the state says that they had a horrible relationship. I mean, just by now with these text messages, I could tell their relationship was extremely toxic. She was very controlling, and when she found out that he was talking to another woman in Moldova, sending her money, that was it for her. It continued to make things worse. And finally, in March, she took his life. The defense is stating that's not the case. She was a victim of domestic violence. She was constantly abused by him. And finally, on that day, she defended herself and took his life. Now, let's go into the investigator's final testimony of day 3. As they're continuing to record her, because he is the one doing essentially the interrogation, she shares about the fact that he hit her, all these things. And then she starts talking about Lilia. And Lilia is this woman that is in Moldova that, according to her, she found out that he's been sending messages to, sending money, because she has a daughter that is in New York or New Jersey, and he was paying for her apartment. So she continues sharing this, and then they go into the text messages. Now, in the text messages, a lot of Lilia comes up. In fact, this woman is hot and cold. Prior to the text messages, though, I will say this. She said that when they went to purchase the home, initially she backed out because he wanted her to put between $250,000 and $300,000 down. He was only putting down $100,000 so that their mortgage could be lower. He was like, no, I'm not putting that much down while you're putting down $100,000. I don't know if she was significantly more affluent than him. We know she was a dentist and had a very successful dentistry or practice in St. Simon's Island. And finally, she said she backed out. When they did go back and they fixed the mortgage and all of that, she only put $200,000 down. He put down $100,000. So he started having issues because she was supposed to be selling the practice to then move to where they purchased their home in Lake Lanier. And he was not happy with the fact that she was not putting her entire sale of the practice into the home. In fact, he said, you need to put all of the money that you sell that practice into the house so that we can get a lower mortgage payment. She's like, absolutely not. That is my retirement. I'm 62 years old. That is the only way that I can take care of myself. And he was adamant. She was very hesitant and said no. Then he started arguing with her as to how much she was selling the practice for. And she had to explain, I did not work for about 16 to 20 weeks because she had a whole bunch of surgeries. And that's why the practice was valued at less, because it's income versus the sale price. She said he wouldn't understand that either. So that was a lot of the arguments that they had on that particular day. Now, when they go into the text messages, this is where Lilia comes up. She starts again telling him that she spoke to Lilia and that Lilia said that they were married. What's interesting about all of that is that the son said that the uncle had seen paperwork on his desk, as if he was bringing Lilia over from Moldova. How was he going to bring her over if he wasn't going to sponsor her? And to sponsor her, wouldn't you have to have like a K-1 visa, to get married in 90 days, like 90 Day Fiance. And then also she kept asking him, like, when are we going to get engaged? And he's like, in due time, after we move in together, after we finish our home and you can finally move to St. Simon's Island. And she's like, I'm so embarrassed. Like, we haven't been engaged. I didn't want to live with you without being married. And then she starts, no, you don't want me. Like, literally, that's how the text messages were within minutes. You don't want me. You don't love me. And then he's like, but I love you. Yes, I do. She's like, no, you don't. All you want is Lilia and her daughter. Why don't you just go and be with them? And he's like, but I don't want to be with them. I want to be with you. Well, then when are you going to stop talking to her? I already stopped talking to her. Okay, well, I love you. Oh, I love you. That's how it was. Okay. In one of the text messages, he did say that she was done and she was no longer going to move to Lake Lanier, that she was going to get attorneys to sell the home. And he was like, okay, whatever. And then, again, a couple hours later, but I love you and I love you too. I'm confused about why he was talking to a woman in Moldova and sending, according to her, $6,000 to $7,000 a month to this woman. She said, initially, I thought they were poor, but they're apparently very affluent. She believed that they had multiple people sending them money and that her daughter in New Jersey was living very well. So then she thought that he was being scammed. That's when she brought the son in. But the text messages really show the toxicity of their relationship, the back and forth, the constant, I love you, why aren't we engaged? It's because you don't love me. It's because you don't want me. And then if she would send like a very text message and he didn't respond quickly, she was like, forget it, it's off the table. You know who used to text like that? Me, when I was 17. Ma'am, how old were you? 61 at the time. Man, listen, I'm not saying y'all should have been together, because frankly, the moment you found out this man had a woman in Moldova he was messaging and sending money to, that was your sign to say, you know what, maybe he's not ready for a relationship. And why the hell would you buy a house with this man? $1.5 million house that you had to give, according to her, $200,000 down, and he gave $100K. Like, I'm not understanding. And the defense team will be tomorrow, actually today, day 4, I'll go into in the next video. They're going to continue the testimony of this lead investigator, because apparently we've got more text messages to go through. He did specify that she lied when it came to the shell casings and the flushing. She stated that she only flushed the bullets. It was on the first floor. He had told her to mess with his gun, and that some bullets fell out, and he said, just go flush them. And so she did. But the fact of the matter is that they confirmed that the casings where she had shot him, they couldn't find those casings. They got a plumber, and that the casings literally came from the second floor. There was no way that they were ever old bullets that were flushed from the first floor. So in the next video, I will go into day 4. Baby Jesus. Talk to you soon.